You notice it happens at the exact moment things begin to feel real. The conversations were warm. The energy was there. She laughed at your jokes, replied quickly, asked personal questions, opened doors into her world. And for a brief moment, everything felt easy. Then suddenly, distance. Her replies slow down. Her tone changes. She becomes busy. She disappears for hours, then days. She seems colder, more reserved, more careful. And the question that destroys countless men begins to grow inside their minds. If she liked me, why did she pull away? Most men answer that question with fear. They assume another man appeared. They assume they said something wrong. They assume attraction died overnight. They assume she was fake from the beginning. And because they believe these things, they react in the worst possible way. They chase harder. They demand clarity. They overtext. They become emotional. Detectives trying to solve a mystery that was never meant to be solved through pressure. But what if the truth is deeper than that? What if sometimes a woman pulls away, not because she feels nothing, but because she feels too much? What if distance is not rejection, but protection? Tonight we enter one of the most misunderstood corners of female psychology, because the woman who likes you can sometimes become the woman who disappears from you. And unless you understand why, you will destroy situations that were actually working. There was once a young man named Adrian. Adrian was not weak, not desperate, not foolish. He was calm, intelligent, disciplined. He had built himself carefully after years of heartbreak. He no longer begged for attention. He no longer chased unavailable women. He had learned silence. He had learned patience. Then he met Elena. She was sharp, feminine, elegant, but guarded. The kind of woman who smiled like she knew more than she said. Their first conversation lasted 2 hours. Their second lasted 4. By the third time they met, she was touching his arm when she laughed, holding eye contact longer than necessary, remembering tiny details he had forgotten he mentioned. Everything pointed forward. Then just as quickly she withdrew. Her messages became brief. Plans became uncertain. Warmth became formality. Adrian felt the old panic returning. He nearly did what most men do. He nearly chased answers. But instead he did nothing. And that decision changed everything. Because what Adrian did not know was that Elena was not losing interest. She was afraid of it. Understand this carefully. Attraction is not always comfortable for women. Men often imagine attraction as something linear. If she likes you, she moves closer. If she likes you more, she moves closer again. If she likes you deeply, she stays. But human emotion is rarely linear. Especially in women, attraction often collides with memory. Fear, trust, vulnerability, ego, timing, and emotional self-protection. She can like you and still retreat. She can want you and still resist. She can miss you and still remain silent. This is where many men fail. They judge feminine behavior through masculine logic. A man often experiences attraction as pursuit. He sees something he wants and moves toward it. A woman often experiences attraction as evaluation. She feels something, then studies it. She tests it. She questions it. She protects herself from it. When emotions deepen, risk deepens. And many women have learned through pain that emotional risk can be dangerous. The woman who once trusted too quickly and got betrayed becomes cautious. The woman who once gave too much and got abandoned becomes slower. The woman who once fell hard for the wrong man becomes suspicious of her own feelings. So when she begins to genuinely like you, an internal alarm can activate. This feels familiar. What if I lose control? What if he changes later? What if I care more than he does? What if I get hurt again? She does not always say these words aloud. Instead, she simply pulls away. To a man, it looks irrational. To her nervous system, it feels necessary. There is another reason women withdraw when they care. They do not want to appear too available. Many women understand, consciously or unconsciously, that value often increases with mystery. They know men sometimes chase what feels difficult and take for granted what feels easy. They have seen it happen to themselves, to friends, to sisters, to every woman who gave too much too soon. So when she likes you, she may slow down, not to manipulate, but to preserve respect. She wants to know if your interest survives space. She wants to know whether you only wanted excitement or whether you value substance. She wants to see whether your confidence remains when attention is reduced, because attention is cheap. Consistency is expensive. Any man can be intense for 1 week. Few remain solid when certainty disappears. This is why some women create distance without even planning to. They instinctively step back and watch. Who are you when she is not feeding your ego? Do you become unstable? Do you become needy? Do you become angry? Do you become weak? Or do you remain centered? Woman learns more from your reaction to distance than from your behavior during closeness. Read that again. Closeness is easy. Anyone can shine when everything flows naturally. Distance reveals character. That is why many men sabotage themselves. She goes quiet for one day and he sends 3 double texts. She delays a reply and he posts stories to provoke jealousy. She becomes busy and he asks, "Did I do something wrong?" She senses pressure, and pressure kills emotional safety. A woman cannot relax into attraction while managing a man's insecurity. This does not mean every woman who pulls away likes you. Sometimes interest truly fades. Sometimes another option appears. Sometimes timing changes. Reality must be faced honestly. But many men ruin good situations because they cannot tolerate uncertainty long enough to discover the truth. Now let us go deeper. Some women withdraw because they are testing themselves. Yes, themselves. She may ask, "Do I like him? Or just the attention? Do I miss him? Or just the routine? Is this real chemistry? Or loneliness? Am I ready? Or just curious?" Women are often more emotionally self-aware than men, but that awareness can create hesitation. She does not want to drag someone into her confusion, so instead of discussing every inner conflict, she creates space to feel clearly. Again, the man misreads silence as rejection. Sometimes silence is reflection. There was another woman named Sophia. She met a man who felt different from the others. He listened. He was composed. He was not trying to impress anyone. Around him, she felt both calm and exposed. That scared her, because chaos had always felt familiar. Many people mistake familiarity for compatibility. If she grew up around inconsistency, emotional distance, drama, or unstable love, then healthy energy can feel boring at first, then terrifying later. Why? Because healthy love asks you to drop your survival patterns. The woman used to chasing unavailable men suddenly meets a stable man and does not know how to receive him. The woman used to emotional games suddenly meets sincerity and mistrusts it. The woman addicted to chaos meets peace and calls it no spark. Sometimes when she pulls away, she is not escaping you. She is escaping the discomfort of being loved differently. Now here is where strong men separate themselves from reactive men. A reactive man sees distance and tries to close it immediately. A strong man observes patterns before acting. He understands one day of silence means nothing. One delayed reply means nothing. One off week means nothing. Patterns matter. Panic does not. If she pulls away briefly but returns warm, engaged and consistent, she may simply be processing. If she pulls away repeatedly, only returns when lonely, gives confusion instead of clarity, and drains your peace, then the issue is no longer psychology. It is incompatibility. Wisdom means knowing the difference. Many men cling to psychological explanations because they fear obvious truth. They say, "She's scared of liking me." Maybe. Or maybe she enjoys attention without intention. They say she has trauma. Maybe. Or maybe she lacks respect. Never use psychology to excuse patterns that destroy your dignity. Understand people deeply, but judge behavior clearly. Adrian understood this. When Elena withdrew, he did not chase. He did not punish. He did not beg. He continued his life. He trained, worked, met friends, laughed, slept peacefully. A week later, she returned, not with grand apology, not with dramatic confession, just warmth. She asked how he had been. She joked again. She suggested meeting. During dinner, she admitted something quietly. "You made me nervous." He smiled. "Why?" "Because I liked you more than I expected." That sentence explains thousands of confusing situations men never understand. Women often pull away when they lose emotional control, because many women value emotional security deeply. To like someone strongly means surrendering certainty. It means the other person now has influence. That is not a small thing. The more intelligent or experienced a woman becomes, the more carefully she grants access to her emotions. Now let us discuss what not to do when she pulls away. Do not interrogate her every change in mood. Nothing suffocates attraction faster than emotional surveillance. Do not overcompensate with gifts, paragraphs, or excessive effort. Neediness disguised as generosity is still neediness. Do not mirror coldness with childish games. Silence can be strength. It can also be ego. Know the difference. Do not obsessively monitor her social media. Many men destroy their confidence through information they were never meant to consume. Do not build fantasies around limited evidence. 3 great dates do not equal destiny. And most importantly, do not abandon yourself trying to hold someone else. Now what should you do? Remain steady. If she needs space, let space exist. If interest is real, space often clarifies it. Continue your life with dignity, Attraction grows in the presence of strength, not desperation. When she returns, do not punish her with bitterness. Observe whether her actions now align. When patterns of inconsistency continue, step back calmly. The goal is not to win her back. The goal is to remain a man whose peace is expensive. This is what many men never learn. The right woman does not require you to become anxious. Temporary distance may happen. Human beings are complex. But chronic confusion is rarely love. A woman who truly values you may need time. But she will not make ambiguity your permanent home. And if she does, walk away. Because the deepest attraction skill is not making someone stay. It is being willing to leave what disturbs your self-respect. There is also a darker side to this topic. Some women know that pulling away increases male obsession. Intermittent attention creates addiction. Warmth followed by absence can trigger pursuit instincts. The uncertain mind becomes fixated. Casinos understand this. Manipulators understand this. So watch carefully. Is her distance thoughtful or strategic? Does she return with sincerity, or only when your attention fades? Does she communicate honestly, or keep you in emotional fog? Psychology can explain behavior, but discernment protects you from it. The man who cannot walk away becomes vulnerable to every manipulative rhythm. The man who values himself becomes difficult to control. Years later, Adrian and Elena had another conversation. She told him the truth in fuller detail. When I disappeared, I expected you to chase me.
And if I had?
I would have lost interest. He laughed. That makes no sense. It does to women who are watching for strength. This may frustrate some men, but it reveals something real. Many women are not only attracted to how much you like them, they are attracted to how well you handle yourself. Your nervous system is part of your attractiveness. If her mood changes and yours collapses, she feels the instability. If uncertainty appears and you remain grounded, she feels safety. This is why self-control outperforms charm. This is why calm beats cleverness. This is why silence often beats paragraphs. A woman who pulls away when she likes you may be confused, cautious, testing, healing, protecting herself, or evaluating you. But whatever her reason, your response must come from standards, not fear. Because men often ask the wrong question. Instead of asking, why did she pull away? Ask, did I remain myself when she did? That question changes everything. If the answer is no, then her behavior taught you where you still need growth. If the answer is yes, then time will reveal whether she belongs in your life. And time is the greatest lie detector of all. So the next time warmth becomes distance, do not panic. Do not chase shadows. Do not beg for reassurance. Stand still. Some people leave because they never cared. Some people pause because they do. And only patience can tell the difference. Remember this like law. When a woman likes you, she may move closer. When she likes you deeply, she may also become afraid. When she pulls away, it does not always mean run toward her. Sometimes it means remain where you are and let truth walk toward you. That is how powerful men handle confusion. Not with noise, with presence, not with fear, with standards, not with desperation, with silence. And in that silence, masks fall. Motives reveal themselves, and the right people return willingly. Everyone else disappears exactly as they should. And this is where the story becomes dangerous. Because once a man learns that some women pull away when they like him, he can become trapped by a seductive illusion. He begins to interpret every form of distance as hidden affection. Every cold reply becomes, she's scared. Every canceled plan becomes, she likes me too much. Every breadcrumb becomes, she's testing me. This is how intelligent men fool themselves. They do not fall because they are stupid. They fall because they know just enough psychology to become vulnerable to fantasy. Truth requires balance. Yes, a woman can withdraw because she cares. But she can also withdraw because she is uninterested, distracted, emotionally unavailable, immature, selfish, overwhelmed, or focused elsewhere. The weak man chooses whichever explanation protects his ego. The strong man watches behavior, because behavior is where desire becomes visible. A woman may feel confused emotions inside herself, but if she values you, eventually it will show through effort, through warmth, through honesty, through consistency, through some form of movement toward you. Without movement, words mean nothing. Without effort, feelings are irrelevant. Without clarity, attraction becomes theater. Many men waste months trying to decode women who gave them only moments. Do not become one of them. There was a man named Victor who once said, "She told me she wasn't ready for a relationship, but she still texts me sometimes. She must care." No, she may care a little. She may enjoy comfort. She may like attention. She may miss companionship. She may feel lonely at night. She may enjoy access without responsibility. Care alone is cheap. Commitment reveals value. This is the painful lesson many men avoid. Someone can like you and still not choose you. Someone can be attracted to you and still waste your time. Someone can miss you and still be wrong for you. The mature man understands this and refuses to confuse emotion with intention. Now let us return to female psychology. Why do some women become colder precisely when things become emotionally real? Because fantasy is easy. Reality is costly. Flirting is safe because nothing serious is at stake. Late-night conversations, chemistry, teasing, stolen glances, these can exist without consequence. But once genuine feelings appear, new questions arise. Will he stay? Can I trust him? Will this change my peace? Will I lose focus? Will I get hurt? Will I regret choosing him? What looked simple in the beginning becomes emotionally expensive. This is why early attraction often feels smoother than deeper connection. At first, both people are presenting energy. Later, both people are confronting truth. And truth is where many people retreat. Some women also pull away because they fear losing leverage. This may sound harsh, but it is real. As long as she is slightly less invested than you, she feels safer. She feels in control. She feels desired without vulnerability. But the moment she senses herself caring more, the emotional balance changes. Now she risks disappointment. Now she risks needing reassurance. Now she risks being the one who waits for replies. That discomfort can trigger withdrawal. She steps back not because she hates you, but because she hates feeling exposed. Men do this too, but women often express it differently. She may become busy. She may act casual. She may lower emotional intensity. She may pretend uncertainty. She may reduce affection to regain internal balance. Again, the inexperienced man interprets this as a challenge to conquer. The wiser man interprets it as information. You are not here to win against someone's defenses. You are here to discover whether they can love without destroying peace. That distinction can save years of your life. There was once a woman named Mira who adored strong men, but every time she met one, she sabotaged it. If a man was careless, she chased him. If a man was consistent, she doubted him. If a man was distant, she desired him. If a man was available, she lost interest. Why? Because her nervous system had been trained by chaos. Many people say they want healthy love, but their bodies are addicted to instability. So when she met Daniel, a grounded, steady man who communicated clearly, she felt strange discomfort. She called him predictable. She said there was something missing. What was missing? Anxiety. She had mistaken anxiety for chemistry her entire life. This happens more often than people admit. A woman may pull away not because you are lacking, but because you are confronting patterns she is not ready to outgrow. That is why taking everything personally is foolish. Not every rejection is about your worth. Sometimes you simply represent growth someone is resisting. But be careful. This truth should humble you, not inflate you. Do not become the arrogant man who assumes every woman who leaves was intimidated or not ready for a real man. Sometimes she left because you were boring. Sometimes because you were needy. Sometimes because you lacked direction. Sometimes because you ignored obvious incompatibility. Sometimes because life is life. Reality is cleaner than ego. Now let us speak about the moment she returns. This moment destroys many men because absence increases emotional intensity. The silence made him wonder. Wonder became attachment. Attachment became obsession. So when she reappears with a simple, "Hey stranger," he feels relief like a thirsty man seeing water, and relieved men make bad decisions. He overinvests instantly. He becomes available too fast. He accepts no accountability. He rewards confusion because he missed comfort. Never let loneliness negotiate your standards. If she returns, welcome reality, not fantasy. Observe. Has communication changed? Has effort increased? Is there honesty now? Does she initiate? Does peace increase around her presence? Or is she simply reopening access to attention? The man who cannot evaluate returns will repeat cycles endlessly. Warmth, distance, return, hope, confusion, pain. Many relationships are not relationships. They are loops. And loops can last years. Now here is a principle most men need carved into memory. A woman's temporary uncertainty is understandable. Her permanent ambiguity is unacceptable. Everyone has seasons of confusion. Everyone has fear. Everyone has wounds. Human beings are complex. But adults who value each other communicate enough to prevent emotional chaos. If months pass and everything still feels unclear, stop calling it mystery. It is misalignment. There was a time Adrian almost forgot this. Months after Elena confessed her feelings, she entered another period of distance. Work stress, family issues, emotional heaviness. This time he nearly excused everything because he knew her psychology. But maturity whispered a harder truth. Understanding someone does not obligate you to endure everything. So he spoke simply. I care about you, but I don't do ongoing confusion. If you need space, take it honestly. If you want this, show it consistently. No anger, no speech, no pleading, just standard. That is how self-respecting men communicate boundaries. Not through threats, through clarity. And something interesting happened. She respected him more than ever. Why? Because boundaries often create the safety people secretly crave. Many women say they want emotional freedom. But what they often mean is freedom inside structure. Freedom with a man who knows himself. Freedom with someone who cannot be emotionally dragged around by every wave. When a man has no center, she feels she must manage everything. When a man has center, she can relax. This is why masculine steadiness is magnetic, not domination, not coldness, not arrogance. Steadiness, the ability to remain whole when circumstances shift. Now let us go deeper into dark psychology. Some people, men and women, learn that distance creates value. They discover that replying slower increases pursuit. That inconsistency increases attention. That uncertainty deepens obsession. So they weaponize withdrawal. They become warm enough to hook you, then distant enough to trigger you, then warm again to reset hope. This pattern can feel like love because it activates dopamine and anxiety in cycles. But addiction is not intimacy. If someone repeatedly creates emotional turbulence while avoiding real progress, step back immediately. Your heart is not a casino. Never gamble your peace on unpredictable people. How do you tell the difference between genuine fear and manipulative distance? Look at empathy. A woman who is overwhelmed but sincere may need space, yet she still shows concern for how her actions affect you. She may communicate imperfectly, but there is humanity. A manipulator feels little urgency to protect your peace. Confusion is useful to them. One creates distance reluctantly. The other creates distance strategically. Learn the difference. Now imagine two men. The first man panics whenever a woman pulls away. He texts more, explains more, gives more, waits more, tolerates more. He believes patience means enduring disrespect. The second man remains calm. He gives space naturally. He notices patterns. He communicates once. He leaves if chaos continues. Which man gets respected more? Which man feels better at night? Which man becomes harder to manipulate? The answer is obvious. Yet most men choose the first path because fear feels urgent. Urgency is often the language of insecurity. Peace moves slower. There is another hidden truth. Sometimes she pulls away because she senses that you are becoming emotionally dependent too quickly. Women are highly sensitive to emotional pressure, even when unspoken. If your mood rises and falls with her replies, she feels it. If your identity begins orbiting her attention, she feels it. If every interaction carries the weight of your loneliness, she feels it. And pressure causes retreat. A woman wants to be valued, not turned into your emotional life support system. This is why building a full life is not cliché advice. It is psychological armor. A man with purpose does not collapse when one person becomes distant. A man with options does not obsess over mixed signals. A man with self-respect does not beg for crumbs. He can care deeply without becoming consumed. That balance is rare, and rarity attracts. Years later, Adrian explained to a younger friend why things worked with Elena. It wasn't because I had the perfect lines, he said. It was because I didn't abandon myself when things became unclear. That is the lesson beneath all of this. Not how to decode women. Not how to manipulate attraction. Not how to make her chase. The real lesson is how to remain anchored when emotions become uncertain. Because life will test that skill everywhere. In love, in business, in friendship, in loss. Can you stay grounded when outcomes are unknown? Most cannot. That is why they grasp. That is why they overreact. That is why they hand power away. But the person who can stand in uncertainty, without collapsing, becomes powerful by default. So if she pulls away, breathe. Do not instantly crown her the love of your life. Do not instantly label her evil. Do not write stories with incomplete facts. Let behavior speak over time. Let patterns reveal truth. Let silence expose intention. And above all, remember this. Someone liking you is not the prize. Someone choosing you clearly is. Someone desiring you is not enough. Someone respecting your peace is. Someone returning is not victory. Someone returning better is. This is where boys chase chemistry. Men choose character. And once you understand that difference, many confusing women will no longer confuse you at all. So in the end, the real question was never, why did she pull away? The real question was, what did her distance reveal inside me? Did it expose fear, neediness, impatience? The habit of chasing what is unclear, the tendency to confuse attention with love. Because relationships do not just reveal other people, they reveal us. Yes, some women pull away because they are scared of real feelings. Some retreat because they are healing, cautious, overwhelmed, or unsure how to receive something genuine. Others pull away because they were never serious to begin with. But no matter the reason, your power begins when you stop obsessing over their motives and start mastering your response. You cannot control another person's emotions. You cannot force clarity. You cannot love someone into readiness. You cannot chase confusion until it becomes commitment. But you can control your standards. You can remain calm when others become distant. You can walk away from repeated inconsistency. You can choose peace over obsession. You can refuse to lose yourself trying to be chosen. And that is where true attraction starts. Not in begging, not in performing, not in decoding every mixed signal, but in becoming a person whose self-respect is stronger than loneliness. Because the right woman will not require endless guessing games. She may be human, imperfect, cautious, even temporarily confused, but she will not make confusion your permanent reality. She will meet effort with effort, respect with respect, clarity with clarity, love with love. So the next time someone pulls away, do not panic. Let them step back. If it was real, truth returns with consistency. If it was fake, distance protects you. Either way, you win when you stay grounded. Remember this always. The strongest man is not the one who can make anyone stay. He is the one who remains whole when they leave.